Okay, got the picture for the thumbnail. We're good. Hey everybody, welcome back to Fox's Best Laid Plans and welcome back to another monthly Power Sheets video. My name is Fox. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I do planner videos, I do vlogs, I do Power Sheets. You know, I keep it kind of real. It might get really real today. That happens sometimes around here. So anyway, I'm going to take you through, let me start by saying, ideally, if I was a real YouTuber, this would have been done on September 28th and it would have been posted live on October 1st and it would have been magical. But that's not how my fucking life goes, my people. You know this if you've been around for like a video, maybe two videos. It might take two videos to figure out the hot mess express that is my life. But you probably know, don't you? You do. So, let's talk about Power Sheets. This is gonna be a long one because this is my quarterly refresh video. So I did not do a quarterly refresh in the summer because my life was like very in a transient period. I knew we were gonna win the trip with my dad before he passed. I knew his health was not good. There was just too much going on. I just felt like I didn't want to do a quarterly refresh at that point because it was like kind of pointless because I was not focusing on any kind of like productivity stuff. I was just focusing on trying to get through the days and be there with my dad and all of that stuff. So I didn't do a summer quarterly refresh. I did decide to do the fall quarterly refresh, but I did it before some major changes happened. And I am filming it after the changes happened. So I'm going to be reading to you as if the changes haven't happened. I don't know. We will see where this video goes because it might, I don't know. So I guess let's start with my September tending list and we'll go through how that went and if I did things on it, which spoiler alert, I don't think I did, so we'll find out. Okay, so this was my tending list from September. If you want to see my September video, which just went up in October because that's why, because I'll put it in the cards here. You can check that out. So September, I was just trying to get through September because my dad died in August and I was trying to just get through September. And we had a big trip. We had a big trip planned to California. We didn't know if we would be able to go on it. We did go on it. It was excellent. But I really kind of tried to keep it easier in here that month because I knew that was going to take up like 10-day portion and then it was going to be like very busy leading up to it, trying to get ready for the trip and then coming home from the trip and going right back into work. You know how that goes. So one thing I wanted to do is because we do go out and get wine in California, I wanted to make sure we did our wine inventory update. So we use an app called Cellar Tracker. If you like wine and you have any amount of cellar, I mean, you don't have to have a lot of bottles. It's a really good app to use because you can track on there what you get as it comes in. You can track it and file it all on there, and then you can categorize it, you can search, so it can help you figure out what you want to have, what you do have, and then when you drink the wine bottles, you can make a note with it that'll say like, we drank it, you say the date that you drank it, and then I always put in notes like, had salmon for dinner and drank it with salmon, or had it with friends, or gave it, you can, if you give it away as a gift, you can mark gave as a gift to so-and-so. So like if you're like an inventory minded person or if you like spreadsheets, it really appeals to people who like spreadsheets and I like spreadsheets. So I wanted to, I do an update on it. I try to update it like a couple times a year. If I don't update it a couple times, like, cause things get forgotten. Like, you just grab a bottle or you have friends over and you ended up grabbing a second bottle and you forget to mark it on there or whatever. You forget to add something in, like that kind of stuff happens. So I do like to do an inventory update every so often, but I also wanted to make a chart of our wine clubs. I got through most of that. Basically, every time we went to a winery that we're members of, I asked them like, can you give me the specifics of our club? So I wanted to keep track of which clubs we're members of, how many times a year they ship, and how many bottles we get each time. So that way I just have a better idea of what's coming in. And that way I can keep better track of like, do we need to cut back on this one? Or, can we increase on this one? We're never gonna increase because we have too many clubs, because what I like to do is I like to get the lowest level of club membership. So you get like some bottles, but not a ton of bottles. But then that way we can be members of more clubs because we're getting smaller amounts. So I was trying to keep track of that. So I gave myself like most of the credit for that one because I did the inventory before we left. So that way we knew what we had when we went out there. And that's nice too, because when you'll be at a tasting room and they'll be pouring something and you'll be like, oh, we just got this in our club shipment, we have this in our cellar. So now we can make a note, like we tasted it in the tasting room. And now, yeah, I'm a data nerd and I love that part of it. Like I just do. So I gave myself most of the credit for that. My next goal was, oh shit, I forgot to tell you about my goals. I've only been doing this for a year. Okay, so I feel like my ring light is like washing out my skin and I look like even paler than I actually am. So hopefully that's not the case because I don't know how to fix that in post. And yeah. So anyway, here's my list this is gonna change when you see me do my quarterly refresh. So this is gonna change. So my goals for this, this is when I did my spring refresh. And so it's been spring and summer quarters on Powersheets. My goals were take better care of my body, establish routines for mental and physical health, scrapbook and memory keep, kick ass at fitness, build a beautiful garden, explore my druid practice, and grow my YouTube channel. So those were my goals. So I put the wine inventory. I'll just tell you the 3 things that I did under that category. I'm not good at remembering to put them in order of the categories because it's just not how my brain works while I'm going through this. And so like I jump around. So this is for this goal and this is for this goal and this is I know some people do like all of my goals or all of my tasks for this goal are under the top. And then in the middle, and then, you know, they go down like in a way that makes sense. But I'm not that girl that makes sense like that. That's just not how my brain works. So anyway, also my allergies are just garbage because it's been windy all day. And like one of my biggest allergy triggers is leaf mold when the leaves are changing. And so it was like a beautiful, perfect, blustery fall day, which is my favorite thing, but that's also the worst thing for my allergies. So I'm trying really hard not to just sniffle through this whole thing, but it's going to be a lot of editing, I fear. Anyway, okay, so that first goal that I went over about the wine inventory, I have that under the goal of establish routines for mental and physical health. I had 2 other items on here under that. The easiest one was decorate for autumn, which I did. I'm missing a box. I think I have a mislabeled box in the attic. So it's probably Halloween and autumn stuff in a Christmas box because like when I was transitioning the seasons, I probably just threw it in there and forgot to change the label. So I'm missing one box, but I got everything else up. So I gave myself like almost full credit for that, almost. The other action item that I had on here under that same goal of establish routines for mental and physical health was to file my name change paperwork. And I did it. I finally did it. I've had it on here for months. If you are new here, when I got married, I took my husband's last name. It's a long story and I may do a video just on that at some point. Basically, I had always wanted to keep my own name. We had planned that I was going to keep my own name whenever we got married. We were at my cousin's wedding with a bunch of family and a friend of the family, her husband, she had kept her name. Her husband came up to my husband, well, we were just talking about stuff and they asked, are you keeping your name? And I was like, oh yeah, I am. And her husband said to us, or to my husband basically, you're going to say you're okay with it, but you're never actually going to be okay with it. It's always going to bother you that that she didn't take your name. And I'm like, I don't even know this person. It's a long story. Like, I'm telling the story. I didn't think I was going to tell the story. I didn't even know this person, but like it stuck with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And husband's like, oh my gosh, maybe it is going to bother me that we're not, you know, the same last name. Like we can't get the us's. And I thought, well, how big of a deal is it? I'll just keep my real name as part of my middle name. So I'll still have it. It's not going to give it away completely, but I'll just use his last name and then it'll be, you know, we'll be like a standard husband and wife. I thought it wouldn't bother me and it really bothered me. And ever since, like, I tried it for like a year and I was like, it just never felt like me. I felt like my identity changed and it was just weird. And so I just like have wanted to change it back, but it's a big production. It's a very like long process and I'm in the middle of it now. I did file the original paperwork. So once you file the original paperwork, it has to be approved by a judge. They do a background check. You have to have your fingerprints done. You have to pay a fee. You have to do a filing. And then the judge will give you a court date. You have to email them and get a court date. So that's where I am now. I have to get my court date to go down and actually do the name change, but I've been approved for doing that part of it. And then I have to announce my name change in 2 publications. Side note, this is all just if you are changing your name for a reason other than marriage or divorce. it would actually have been like cheaper and probably easier for us to get divorced, me to change my name, and then us to get remarried. Yeah, yeah. And in our state, if he had wanted to take my last name, he would have had to go through this whole process. It's archaic, and it's a whole rant that I could go on. So in any case, I've wanted to do this for years, and I finally was like, I gotta just do it. Like, it'll make me happier. It's one little small thing that'll make me happier. So I did. So I am going to be scheduling. I have to do my email. I just got the paperwork Friday night when I got home from work. So I have to do my email tomorrow on Monday. It's Sunday right now that I'm filming this. And then I will get my court date scheduled and the next steps in the process. So exciting. So I did do that. And when I crossed that off, I was like so happy because I've had the paperwork, and then like I've been just dilly-dallying around because it was a lot of effort and it was very stressful, and I was just worried they were gonna be like, no, you have to keep your husband's name because women are property. Like, I don't know. I just was worried about it. And so I think the stress of doing it like really prevented me from doing it for a while. And then I finally was like, I set a date and I was like, I'm gonna do it this day. I'm gonna make time. And I went downtown and the weather was perfect, and a song that I loved came on the radio when I was driving to the courthouse, and I was like, all of this is a sign. Like, it was the right thing. And I felt like when I did it, like, I love my husband, but I love me too, and this was a thing to do to take care of me, and I'm so happy that I'm in the process of it and that my time is coming soon. So anyway, I did that. That was a big thing for me. It was an exciting thing to cross off. Okay, I have 3 action items on here that are about my goal of grow my YouTube channel. The first one being to film my December daily flip through and post. I did. If it'll let me do 2 cards, I'm gonna put it up in the cards here if you wanna see my December daily flip through. That's a scrapbooking project that I do through Allie Edwards. I'll put a link to it up here if I can. If not, I'll put it down in the description box. I don't know how YouTube will let me do 2 sets of cards in one video or not, but I did do that. I got it posted, and I wanted to have it posted like before the December daily for 2021 went on sale, so people could find the video and like see what it looks like if they were gonna try to make the decision to buy it. And I did, and actually like a lot of people looked at it, so that was really cool. I felt like, oh, people like my video. Next up, the 2 things that I didn't accomplish for the month was to content plan for the month and schedule my vacation vlogs. I have some backlog of vacation vlogs that I wanted to put up, and I haven't had the time to do that yet. I didn't do that yet, but I have an idea of how I'm gonna do it. And the other one was to make a title page and an about me on my channel. I don't have like a banner that says anything, like, and I don't have an about me section that like would tell someone who came to my page like anything about me. And I wanted to do like a Skillshare class about YouTube channels and like see what they recommend how I should do that. And yeah, that's just been about me. I'm a mess all the time, but at least I'm kind of interesting sometimes. I was not a dab. By the way, my friend taught me a dab the other night. I am too old. I'm almost 40. I don't know what that is, but she taught it to me. And it looked in this viewfinder like what I was trying to do was this. But since I had my other arm out, it looked like I was doing a dab. A dab is like when you go like, I think it's a dab. I don't know. I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. Anyway, moving on. Okay, I had an action item for my goal of scrapbook and memory keep that I fucked up. I didn't even touch it. I'm still continuing on my quest to complete my backlog of my 365 project. I thought I was gonna work on it on the plane. So I put it on here to work on a specific task of that on the plane. You know, I watch a lot of YouTubers and I see them saying, and on the plane, I worked on editing my video. I don't know what plane you were on, but I want you to tell me what plane you were on, because if I had a plane that had enough room to have my laptop out that I could edit something on a plane, I would be like so much happier on a plane. Do you know how much space I had? I had a fashion mag and I was like trying to read the fashion mag, but it was like this, like up here on me, like this close to my body. Like, what is your secret? How do you edit things on planes? How do you fit your laptop on that little tray table and then also fit your apple juice and then also fit your little bag of pretzels? How did you do it? Because I just couldn't. I was just like, this is fine. Everything is fine. So I didn't do this. And the excuse is that I couldn't fit on my plane seat with my tray table down. And then under the goal of take better care of my body, I had the action item of go to California. It's not really taking care of my body, but it's taking care of my brain, which is part of my body. And it was really good for me. We were calling it our griefcation, which is something that we do when we're grieving. We schedule travel to try to like give us something to look forward to and get our souls right. And that's what we did. And it was really good. Oh, I forgot also, I had one other item on here under scrapbook and memory keep, and it was to edit all the vacation photos. I didn't even get close to that. Like, we just took so many pictures and I didn't even get close. But I gave myself partial credit because I did do some. I did like the first 2 days. We stayed at the Madonna Inn. It was magical and it was everything I dreamed it would be. So I did get the first like day and a half, 2 days of editing done. So I gave myself a partial credit, but that's all. My weekly action items, I think I just kind of abandoned doing those. And my daily action items, once we were on vacation, I just stopped paying attention. So that's where we are. That's fine. These items, I think maybe in 2022, I'm gonna try to like do better with them. Oh my God, my leg's asleep. Ow. I think in 2022, I might try to like make a more concerted effort. I always have high hopes at the beginning of the month, but it just doesn't always work out with the weekly and daily action items. So let's move on to my month in review. People I'm grateful for and why. I said husband. We had a great time on vacation, and he's been going through some stuff with his mental health, and he has been addressing it like up front instead of like pretending everything's fine, and I'm really proud of him for that. And then I also said my coworkers for keeping the store running while I was gone. Good things this month, the California trip. I got my booster dose of my vaccine, and we've gone dancing a couple times. What I read or listened to. So I read the In Style Fall Fashion issue. That's what I was reading on the plane. That was like stuck to me. And then I've been listening to my autumn 2021 mix and all the ones that came before it. Most years, I try to make an autumn playlist. And so I get like obsessive when I listen to them over and over and over the entire month of September and October. So they start in September. Goals that are growing well, getting back to distance running. I've been doing pretty well being consistent with my runs and not going too crazy with all the stress in my life. That might be changing when I do my October wrap up, but we'll see. Favorite memories from this month, all of California, the Madonna Inn. I did this beautiful 10-mile run with like this incredible climb at the beginning up to the top of the volcanic plug, and it was like foggy the whole way up, and when I got to the top, you were like over the fog, and it was like spooky and majestic. Here, I'll put a picture up here. You can see, it was like going to church for me. It was like amazing. Wine tasting at Kiami with the dogs, hiking at Point Lobos, my relish plates. I went to 2 places that give you relish plates. Do you know how much I love relish plates? Like, I love relish plates. Like, if you give me a steakhouse with a relish plate, it's my favorite. I just love it. I spent a weekend with my mom. We cooked together. We did some cooking and baking. We watched Boys on the Side, which she's never seen, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time. I also said dancing and then meeting Buff Gary, who was one of my favorite shelter dogs. I just was in love with him. He was so cute. I think I must have walked him like shortly before I filled this out and he was on my mind. I'm choosing grace over guilt about the month disappearing in front of my eyes because it really did. It was like I blinked and it was October already. And I'm choosing grace over guilt about losing our Rolling Stones tickets. It's a long story. I think I talk about it in my quarterly refresh. We had tickets to see the Rolling Stones that we got in February of 2020 before the pandemic. Then they canceled the show. Then they rescheduled the show this summer and said to keep your original tickets, but ours were missing. And they said that you could get a refund by a certain date. Well, the date was 2 days before my dad died. And so that week I just totally lost track of it. We hadn't decided if we were gonna go or not. I didn't know the tickets were lost at that point. And long story short, we never found the tickets. I reached out to Ticketmaster and said, we can't find these tickets. Can I sell them since they're gonna have to reissue the tickets to the person that would buy them? And they never responded to me. So yeah, I'm choosing grace over guilt about that. Like, it was February 2020. They expected me to hold on to these tickets until now. And also the week for the refund I missed because it was when my dad was on hospice and dying. So these things happen. I'm saying no to letting other people's attitudes get me down, and I'm saying yes to continuing to work on myself for myself because, yeah, basically I'm trying to really hard to not fall into the comparison trap or to get like sucked into the negativity of doom scrolling and that kind of stuff, and try to like, I don't know, realize that I need a little bit more self-care now than maybe I would need in a perfect world, because I'm going through some more stuff than I would be, and try to like not worry about what other people are viewing me as, and worry about like, is this benefiting me, and am I healing and getting better in my mental health, and if that makes sense. So let's move on to the quarterly refresh. So the way the power sheets are structured, you do 3 quarterly refreshes. So you do your power sheets in like December to start in January, and then you do a quarterly refresh for the spring, the summer, and the fall. As I mentioned, I skipped the summer quarterly refresh because I just thought it wasn't useful at that time. I did do a fall one. I wish I had done my fall one later because it would have been different. But let's work with what we have, okay? Shall we? So they have you go through all of your areas of life, which you had to do in the beginning, and then you do it on your quarterly refreshes. And so they just ask you, I'll just read it. Audit each area of your life to see the progress that you've made in the last 3 months. Jot down a few thoughts on why you chose each number. What areas need more attention or to be cultivated in different ways? So we'll just go down the list and I'll read you how I'm doing. So for health, I gave myself a 6. And I do these, okay, so if you're new here and this is your first quarterly refresh or power sheets video with me, I do plus and minus. So I do like, this is how we used to do live journal entries back in the day, when you'd have like a lot of news to share with your girlfriends and like you didn't want to write a whole paragraph. So you do plus, I met a cute person at the bar last night. Minus, I have a hangover, you know, like that. So that's the style that we're going for when I do these evaluation check-ins. So health, I said positive, got my gallbladder out in the summer. Negative, I've gained weight. I have high blood pressure now, and part of it I think is related to the weight gain, or it could be related to the weight gain. My doctor thinks it's primarily stress. She's probably right. Plus, stronger at running. I've been feeling really good running lately. Like I haven't been getting injury. I've been like feeling pretty good about that. Plus I'm sleeping better in terms of quality of sleep, minus I'm not sleeping enough hours, and I know that. And I don't know how that gets better right now. Next up is spouse and focal relationship. I gave myself an 8 on this, or I gave us an 8 on this. I said plus communication, plus planning fun stuff together, and minus still not enough hours in the day. So we do get to this point where like we want to spend time together every night. And tonight's an example. Like we wanted to hang out and watch a movie because we're watching spooky movies every night. And I'm like, I have so much to do before I go back to work tomorrow. We're gonna have dinner together, but I don't think we're gonna do anything beyond that because I have so much on my plate and he has stuff that's on his plate, and this just happens from time to time. So that's the negative. Friends, for this quarter, I don't know. I think I was in a weird headspace when I filled this out. I said a 4. I said minus, feeling kind of left out, and plus, times together are good, though less than usual. I think the majority of my friends that I hang out with are people that I run with. And so I feel like with being out for a few weeks for my surgery, and then with my dad, and like, then I was on vacation and I was away, like, I feel like I haven't been able to go to our group runs as much. And a lot of my girlfriends are beer drinkers, and so they've been doing some like breweries and things like that like I just like, and they all have been going to yoga on Sundays, and I just really don't like yoga. I tried it for a number of years and I like some things about it, but I have a lot of wrist pain, I think, from repetitive motion from work. And so anything that's like downward dog, any kind of sun salutations like downward dog or chaturanga or up dog, anything like that puts a lot of pressure on my wrist and it's really painful. And so I just like don't like yoga. That's probably the main reason is the wrist issues. So they've been going to yoga on Sundays and I haven't been going to that because I just don't like it. So I've been feeling like, oh no, I'm not part of the group anymore, which I know is not true. So I said minus, kind of left out, but then I said positive. When I have been seeing my friends and we have been going out or we've been going for runs, it's great and it's wonderful. It's just I feel like, oh God, they all drink beer and go to breweries and I can't do that because I don't like beer, and then they go to yoga and I don't like yoga, and so I'm not part of the group, which is not true. It's just like my brain, and I have to work through that. Family, I gave a 6. I said 3 minuses to the fact that I fucking miss my dad so much. I miss my dad so much, and I think constantly like, I gotta tell him about that. Oh my God, I gotta text my dad, and I can't. I said, plus I've been spending a lot of time with mom. I've been trying to really like make sure that I include her in things and get her out of the house, and that's been going very well. Finances, I said an 8. I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do finances and budgeting. I just kind of am like, don't spend more than you make. Just try to use coupons. I gave myself a minus for losing the tickets. Also, we were supposed to get an Airbnb refund. I don't know what I have to do about that. We had to cancel our Airbnb for part of our trip to California because of the wildfires in Sequoia National Park. And our Airbnb host said that we should be able to get it back because it was natural disaster. But Airbnb has not refunded the full amount, and I have to make a phone call, and I just like finding the time to do that and the energy to stand up for myself is like really a challenge. So I haven't done that. And then losing the Rolling Stones tickets was losing money on that, and trying to not be careless about kind of stuff like that. Work, I gave myself a 5. That's all I'm going to say about work. Spiritual and personal growth, I gave myself an 8 because I said I'm feeling good about my relationship with Spirit. I feel like I check in every day. We have some chats. I feel like good and connected. And I also gave myself a plus for being outside a lot. I've been prioritizing being outside like 30 minutes or more a day. And that makes me feel connected to the earth, and that's good. Recreation, I gave myself a 7. I said plus, I'm doing cool stuff. And I said minus, I'm stressed out while I'm doing it. Yeah, so I did not do this page. This was people I'm grateful for right now. I'm like, I do this every single month, and it's always the same people because the same people were in my life. Settle down, Powersheets, settle down. So this next page is keep moving forward. What goal do you feel stuck on? And I said time. I really have this desire to work on memory keeping and scrapbooking and YouTube, but not enough time. And, oh, but never enough time. I couldn't read my own handwriting. What is holding you back from moving forward? And I said, partially my house. It's a wreck and it's distracting me so much. Like, yeah. I need to do some decluttering and some like actual like real cleaning, and I just like making the mental space for that right now with the way that my work stress is and my depression and anxiety. It's just been it's been a very hard balance. What would you have to change for you to move forward on this goal? Schedule to focus time to really clean and then be able to maintain. If I could schedule the time to do the work, and my mom and I actually did after I wrote this out, we actually did take a day and do some deep cleaning in some areas. And that really was helpful. And I've been able to maintain those since, but there's like a lot to do. What might happen if you did move forward? What might happen if you didn't? I would say if I did move forward, less stress, more time to enjoy life. And if I don't get that stuff under control, it's just gonna snowball and keep going. So up next is refreshing your goals. So as you remember, I had my little handy dandy goal sheet from last time. So I did keep some goals, and I changed some goals, and I added a goal. Yeah, you know how well that goes. So my first goal was take better care of my body, and I kept that the same because it's a struggle. My health is not great anymore. You know, I can't say like I'm a healthy young woman because I'm not really anymore. Goal number 2 was establish routines for mental and physical health, and I changed that to declutter and finish 2021 strong. Goal number 3, I kept the same, scrapbook and memory keep. Goal number 4, same thing, I kept it the same, kick ass at fitness. Goal number 5 was build a beautiful garden. In my fall refresh, I changed it to prepare my garden for winter slumber, which means like winter, like taking the things that are seasonal that I have to put into the garage, as if we had a garage. The things that I have to put into the basement so that they don't freeze, like raking the leaves, that kind of stuff. Goal 6 was to explore my druid practice. I edited that to be a little bit more specific, which was embrace spooky season and then cozy season, my 2 favorite seasons. Goal 7, I kept the same, grow my YouTube channel, and then I added an 8th goal. I didn't have an 8th goal in the spring refresh, and I added one for this, which is set up routines to clear my mental clutter. So that's kind of how I changed. I kind of broke down establish routines for mental and physical health into like 2 things. One of declutter and finish 2021 strong, and then set up routines for my mental clutter. So that's more like morning routine, evening routine, like that kind of stuff. So then you map out your new yearly goals that you just refreshed and mini goals for the next 3 months. So for my yearly goal of take better care of my body, my mini goal is to improve my diet and skincare. So I said, and then you list action steps. So it's your yearly goal, which is the thing I went through, your mini goal under that, and then your action steps you're going to take over the next 3 months. So my action steps for this were track my macros every day and try to eat in my range, my macro range 5 out of 7 days every week. Hit my protein goals. That's really important, especially with me upping my distance as I'm continuing to train for this 100K, because I really am afraid of getting hurt. Like, I have a lot of like hesitancy and worry about that because I have gotten hurt running before. So I want to make sure that I am eating enough protein to help with my muscle recovery, and that will help prevent me from getting hurt. So I'm doing the Diva and the Divine focused finish, and I'm doing coaching with her, group coaching with her through the next couple months. So do my tracker check-in every day, do my skincare routine every night at bedtime. This is so hard. I don't know what it is that I just don't want to take care of my skin. I think it's that like by the time bedtime rolls around, I'm so freaking tired that like I have to brush and floss every night. And so like that is all of the mental energy that I have, and like washing and I have to do my eyelashes because I get eyelash extensions. I have to wash my eyelashes every night. So I'm very diligent about that, because if I don't do that, then they just fall out and I lose money. So I have to brush and floss, and I have to wash my eyelashes. So those things I do every night because I have to do them, but that takes up all of the mental energy that I have to do any other kind of skincare, like washing my face, moisturizing. I'm usually pretty good about splashing water on my face, but I should be using like a nighttime cleanser and using an eye cream because your girl is getting old. No. And then moisturize every morning because we're getting into the fall. When in the summer, I can usually get away with not moisturizing every morning. But in the fall and winter, like my skin will just fall off. We'll just be like, goodbye. Goodbye, Fox. We're done, my skin. So those are my taking better care of my body goals. Next up, the yearly goal is to declutter and finish 2021 strong. I put my mini goal as to clear the most crowded areas, which would be the bedroom and the kitchen. So I want to go through, and I put November in question mark, go through the bedroom drawers. I really need to like declutter and get rid of some stuff because I have a lot. Like my drawers are really full, and that prevents me from being timely with my laundry. Like I'm like doing the laundry obviously, but like folding it and putting it away because I'm like, oh, how am I gonna fit it in there? My drawers are getting so full. The other thing, the kitchen is kind of stressing me out because it's not organized in a really logical way, because like some things, like things that I use all the time, should be in a more accessible cabinet, and it's not exactly how it is. It's more based on like size and shape of things is how I have it all organized right now. So that's something I've been thinking about, is like, how can I make this more user friendly? So I said declutter the pantry and my corner cabinet, and then that was just also like kind of part pantry and part storage. I said move things from the baking pans cabinet to the basement, though I have like, we have a pizza oven that we haven't used in years. Like we should put that in the basement, so if we want to use it, we have it, but it's not taking up space in the kitchen because we're not using it regularly. Sort my sweatshirts in the bedroom. My sweatshirts are a hot ass mess because I always am like, oh, that's such a cute hoodie, I have to buy it. Oh, a targeted ad, I need that. Oh yeah. Desk also would be ideal. Yeah, I could tidy some more stuff. Oh, it's the other desk. Yeah. Like I could tidy my desk. My desk is pretty decent. It's what was husband's desk before he started working from home. Since he started working from home, he's at the dining room table. They are hopefully going back to the office soon. So he'll be 3 days a week at the office, 2 days a week at home. So once that happens, we can move him back into there. So I need to clean the desk in there. That should be a video. Declutter that desk with me. It'll be a 9-hour-long video. And then this one is in all capitals, and it says towel closet OMG. So I have a towel closet, which also holds my boxes. You know, when you get older and you're like, something comes in the mail and you should just break the box down and put it in the recycling, but you go, that's a really nice box. And then you save the box because you're like, well, I always need a box. But then you have done that so many times, so you have a lot of boxes. And maybe you have more boxes than you have room for boxes. And so then you can't get your towels out of the closet because your towels are behind the boxes. That's my towel closet. That's why it's in all capital letters. It needs some effort. Moving on, scrapbook and memory keep. What a much more fun goal than my towel closet. I have a mini goal of finish editing all photos and work on them daily. That's gonna be a lot of effort, and I really think once December hits, well no, once November hits and I start watching Hallmark movies every night, I'll edit photos while I'm watching Hallmark movies because I don't have to like think about them. If I miss some important detail, I'll figure it out. So that'll help. But I said to start, I should map out a calendar to complete by 12/31, like how many photos I would have to do a day. 30 minutes a day of dedicated time, keep up daily morning routine. So keep up daily during morning routine. So like part of my morning routine is like take all my pictures off my phone from like on Tuesday, I take all of Monday's pictures off my phone, put it on the computer, edit them, and be done. I had a couple months where I was really good at this. I haven't touched any of October. We're talking October 17th today, and I haven't touched any October photos yet. And I just realized this, my mom was supposed to give me her phone so I could put her pictures on my laptop, and I forgot from our trip that we took last week. Crap, she was at my house today and I forgot to do it. I'll see her Friday, we'll do it Friday. Then start uploading my 365 project every day. I made this plan 17 days ago and I haven't started that, but that should be part of my morning routine. My yearly goal of kick-ass at fitness, my mini goal for that is to increase my mileage every other week, which is what my coach is giving me. And I said, so my action steps for that, stick to my workouts per Sarah, that's my coach. I wanted to start doing Lift 4 again. I thought maybe after our trip to the Finger Lakes, I didn't start it yet, so maybe I could start it this week or next week. Stretch every day and band exercises. Make the time for it, Fox. I haven't been making the time for it, but I need to. I've been stretching most days, but my coach gave me some band exercises to do for hip and piriformis strength, which is where I'm weak and that's where I get hurt. So I'm supposed to be doing those every day, but it's like by the time I finish my run, I don't really have time to spend 10 minutes doing that, plus stretching, plus my life. And then take my amino acids and collagen every day, which that will help with my muscle recovery. I've been pretty good about doing that. Next yearly goal is to prepare my garden for winter. My mini goal is to rake the leaves before the first snow. They haven't all fallen yet. My maple tree, they've all fallen. My magnolia tree has not even turned yet. So it's gonna be, this is what happens every year. It's like, we can't have all the leaves turn and fall at the same time. It's like 3 drawn out months of gradual stuff dropping into the yard. So that's why I'm always really bad about this. I also put on here for my action steps, should I weed one more time? Maybe. And then wait until the leaves fall and then rake them, and then things to bring inside. Like I was saying, like I have some pots that shouldn't be out in the freezing temperatures, so I want to bring those into the basement. My yearly goal of embracing spooky season and cozy season. My mini goal is to celebrate the fuck out of these 3 months. Always classy, Fox. Action steps, have a spooky Halloween. I'm actually off on Halloween from work, and I haven't been off on Halloween, I don't even remember when, a number of years. Go to a pumpkin patch. We're hopefully gonna do that next weekend. Go to Halloween dance nights and party. I have to talk to my mom because she's supposed to be making me a Mothman cape because I wanted to be Mothman, but I don't know. Like, where did the time go? Spend time in cemeteries. NaNoWriMo is coming up, National Novel Writing Month. You may know it as NaNoWriMo. I've called it NaNoWriMo since 2002 when I first started doing it, and they said that you can use either one, so I'm sticking with what I've called it forever, even though technically I guess it's not the traditional pronunciation. But back in my day, we didn't have in-person events where people said words out loud, we just read them on the screen. DMB Columbus trip. I think I can still do this. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm hoping to go to Columbus to see Dave Matthews Band with my friend Michelle. December daily, obviously I'm excited about that. Planning December events, Christmas tree, decorating, and my favorite day of the year, New Year's Eve. Yes, we're gonna be celebrating New Year's Eve this year, again, thankfully. Missed it last year. Well, we celebrated. We missed the big party last year. We're going back again. So my yearly goal of growing my YouTube channel, my mini goal is to be consistent with posts. So try to post 3 times a week, try to post on time, try to post on the schedule of plan with me on Monday, vlog on Thursday, other video on Sunday. Make my About Me page and my banner, and do a Skillshare class on how to promote and get followers, because I don't understand what's going on. I've gotten notifications of like 4 new followers, but every time I get a new follower, somebody else drops off. So I've been at 66 for like a long time, even though I keep getting notifications that people are adding on. It's like every time somebody adds on, I'm like, oh, I go on to see it say 67 and it still says 66. So I don't know what the hell's going on with my analytics, but If you have any friends, invite them to watch this channel because it's always exciting, because it's always just fucked up. My yearly goal that I just added for setup routines to clear my mental clutter. My mini goal is to have daily, weekly, and monthly routines to provide stability, such as a morning routine every day, a PM routine at bedtime, a weekly cleaning routine such as Sunday watering my plants, etc., and a monthly cleaning of like dusting, vacuuming, bedding, etc. Those would be wonderful. That would be a nice dream. So let's move on to October. As if you haven't been here long enough for this video, let's move on to October. Okay, this is your brainstorming setup sheet. Important to-dos for the month: finish decorating, track my macros, order my Powersheets, Hamilton tickets. We got the pre-sale, so we actually did do that. That's already taken care of. And I signed Mama up for a free trial of Amazon Prime account. I think we're just gonna buy her a Prime account for the year so that way she has it, because it's just, that way it's one less thing for me to worry about. She can order stuff on Amazon if she can't get out because of weather or whatever. We're gonna buy that for her. Things I'm excited for: my birthday, going to the Finger Lakes, Halloween, Halloween movies, spooky time, the cemetery, cooler temperatures, cozy times. Yeah. Goth girl, Libra problems. Things that are on my mind: self-worth issues, stress and anxiety, feeling disorganized, my weight, and my blood pressure. Yeah, I'm hopeful that this month will be great. I can get back on track. The Finger Lakes trip will be great. I can let go of all the shit that's bothering me. Well, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? That would have been a thing that we all dream about, letting go of the shit that's bothering us and not having a new, even more terrifying, very real and serious shit bothering us. I digress. Okay, tending list for the month of October. Right, so encouraging words. I like to do Dave Matthews quotes, but this one was a nice quote that's not Dave Matthews. It's from The Great Gatsby, and the quote is, "Life starts all over again when it gets crisp in the fall," which is the kind of shit that I do. Like, everything's gonna be great as soon as it's fall, and I thought it was. Anyway, all right, my priority is, I wrote spookiness. I think it's a good priority to have. I did a pretty good job of keeping everything organized here, so let's work through this. I have 2 action items related to my goal of declutter and finish 2021 strong. Both of these I just talked about when I did my refresh there. One is the baking pan situation that I was talking about in the kitchen. That drawer is like very accessible, and it's got some stuff in it that I don't use regularly that could be moved to the basement. We have a whole bunch of cabinets in the basement that we have like our entertaining stuff in. They're like Loctite cabinets, and so I keep like our things that we use only when we're entertaining. I keep them down there, and so there's some things I have to move there. And then decluttering the towel closet. Girl, we gotta work on that. So then I have 4 action items related to my goal of scrapbooking and memory keeping. One is to map out the next 3 months of projects, which I talked about, like mapping out how many photos I have to edit a day to get caught up by the 31st of December, etc. Finish editing all the California trip photos, edit all the Finger Lakes trips photos, which I can't do this month because, well, I can, but I still haven't gotten my mom's pictures. Like, I can't believe I forgot to do that today. Oh. And then work on our anniversary project. I've been working on this anniversary project for husband since 2019, and he doesn't even know about it. And I want to work on it at least a little bit and see where I am. That's another one that, like, I have to see how much I have left to work on. So we'll see. I don't think I'll get it done in time for our anniversary, which is November 3rd, but maybe for Christmas, maybe? Question mark? So I did put 1 action item on here related to setting up my routines to clear my mental clutter, which is to make a cleaning calendar and chart, which is what I was talking about with like, which things do I do once a week? Which things do I do once a month? Which things do I do twice a week? You know, whatever. And then I have 3 action items related to my goal of embracing the spooky season and the cozy season. One was my birthday weekend in the Finger Lakes. Spoiler alert, we did it. Other spoiler alert, there's more news coming. Watch 31 spooky movies. We're a little bit behind. We're maybe like 3 videos behind, but like I'm off next weekend, so we could probably catch up and do a couple double features. And then have a very spooky Halloween. I want to just do like, I want to make like pumpkin shaped pancakes in the morning. And then I want to like watch a spooky movie, and then I want to like be outside in the cemetery, you know, like I want to do like spooky things all day because it's my favorite. I put 3 weekly action items, even though weekly action items and I don't always get along. One is to hang out in the cemetery at least once a week. So far so good. I've hung out in the cemetery 3 times and we're on October 17th. So bonus. Good job, Fox. Complete my running workouts as prescribed. I've done pretty well with that. I skipped 1 run because I ran a half marathon last weekend and I was like, I probably should rest my legs the next day because we were still on vacation. And then lift weights at least once. I might have missed the first week, but I did lift Friday. So my daily action items, I'm trying to limit my time on my Facebook app to less than 60 minutes a day. I started out strong with that when I got the news that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, that I will be talking about soon. I think I increased a little bit more because I was like doom scrolling because I was stressed, but we'll see. Do my wellness check-ins every day, my amino acids and my collagen, and my PM skincare. The PM skincare has been, I started out strong. According to this, started out strong. I wanted to do my fucking hoorays every night. That is, if you are a fan of My Favorite Murder podcast, they started doing like where you just say like good things that happened in the week at the end of their podcast. And I was trying to do that like every night. So that way, like when I feel like, oh my God, I had such a stressful day, such a bad day, I can look back and be like, yeah, but this good thing happened. And it's not like monumental things. It's like little things. It's like the other day, 2 of my patients were like, we just love you and I just hope you never leave the store, and like I'm just so glad that you're here, and like that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff they put on there. Or like, man, when I made the coffee this morning, it was just like perfect. Or like, I had time to spend in the cemetery today, you know, things like that. So I've been not good about doing that because yeah, I've been just really anxious. So I probably should start doing that more. 30 minutes outside. I'm still trying to do 30 minutes outside as long as the weather's holding. That might change in November because we're going to start to get colder. And then finally check in with my planner every day, which I've been doing pretty good about that. I started off not so strong, but the last week I've been doing much better about checking in every day. So that's my tending list for this month. That's my quarterly refresh for the fall. And as I said, like between doing the quarterly refresh and filming this video, I got some news that is going to change some of the things going forward, but I think most of it's going to be able to stay the same. We'll see. So that's my life right now. Thank you for watching this long ass video about it. And I didn't give away too many spoilers because I haven't done most of the things. I'm a finish strong kind of girl. Like I will start the month out and I'll be like not working on any of my stuff, and then I'll be like, last week we gotta cross all these things off, let's work on that. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new here. I do publish 2 videos a week, trying to go for that 3rd. And I want to say I'm not always a mess, but I'm always a mess. I'm trying to work on that. Be with me through the process, okay? Won't you feel satisfied when you see me not be a mess? Because you'll be like, she was a mess for so long. Man, I'm so proud of her, right? Right? Anyway, my humans, please, as always, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I will see you in my next video.